From Riverdale Studios, Sioux Falls, this is a comic book look.
Hey, welcome to a comic book look, guys. This is issue 60, right?
60, the big
Holy
6-0.
crap.
Yep. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Yeah.
I totally didn't even think about
And
that.
so,
Another
We're doing-
landmark.
exactly. But no, it's not a landmark. We're past 50. You only do them on 25s now.
Oh,
Okay.
It's kind
Get
of
that.
like birthdays. You only get 10s
Yeah,
after you hit
exactly.
a certain point. Okay.
But anyway, guys, we are your weekly TV show on comic books and anything relating to comic books. We're coming at you again from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. I'm Tom, Skylar, John, and today we are talking about the new animated movie that just came out on
Brand
this
spanking
book,
new. Brand
part one. They've split it into a two-parter, so we got an hour and 15-minute movie, and it was awesome. And we're going to review it today and check it out. At least I thought it was awesome. Maybe these guys are not as partial to me since this is my favorite book.
And
So,
this just came out yesterday, Tuesday,
yes.
September 25th. So,
Yep.
hot off the shelf.
Yep.
Yep, so we got it right away.
on top of it.
Like, unlike our Justice League Doom.
Oh, talk
But
about
we
it.
have to do these because we said at the beginning,
Yeah.
at least I said at the beginning,
We're going to do all comic
that
book
I'm
movies.
exactly.
So, and
And
this-
I love these animated movies, and we're doing all these too.
And this one, it held really tight to the book storyline. Not strictly, but
Sure.
it still held pretty tight to the storyline.
As much as you can.
So,
Yeah.
And it was really really cool, and I like to see it. So let's we kind of have a kind of formula that we'll run down. First, one of us will tell you what it's all about. Then we'll kind of break down what we liked about it, animation, voice acting, overall plot, and then give you the rating. So who wants to run down with first the full plot line of what we saw tonight?
I think Tom's never done. I don't know if you've ever done a
I know,
rundown.
I always
you're
ask-
always
You always take up the tail
John,
end.
would
and
you like to do it? Not
Yeah.
really, but okay.
always pass it up? I
Okay.
mean, I'm sure. Yes, you have been talking at the beginning, but I don't
That
think
is
they'll
so
get too sick of
true,
you.
dude.
So, Tom,
Tom,
give
what's
us a
the plot?
rundown. What,
You know
what
what?
happened in this movie?
You guys can eat my ass. And I will tell you what the rundown.
Wow.
The rundown is we're set place in Gotham City. Batman has been retired for a long time. We learned this from a newscaster that comes right on and tells us this.
Classic stuff.
Yep, and pulled straight from the book. And then we learn that it's later in the years. We meet Bruce. He's race car driving right away. He's there's something that's missing in his life, obviously, and that's why he's doing all these crazy race car driving and crashing and taking him to the max.
Yeah.
And Alfred's still around. Me and Skylar and John estimated he was how old?
He's got to be 100.
Yeah.
minimum.
100.
He's
I mean,
invincible.
at least, yeah. But yeah, it's this crazy future, and you get to, it's right off the bat meet the players. We get to see, what Bruce is like. We get to see what Gordon's like, and then, kind of see how Batman feels like he needs to come back because Gotham is, turning to shit because of this big mutant gang is what they called, and they're wearing
not
these,
a gang.
It's an organization.
and they wear these rockin' awesome
Cyclops
red
visors.
Cyclops.
It's like the
visors.
Phoenix 500.
Dude, it's like Jordy. Let's get real here, okay? I mean, that's the coolest one.
I suppose.
So yes, we'll keep it Star Trek and say they're very Jordy-like, and so then Batman has to face these guys. They have a really big bad guy, but you also see all these other things in the background coming to light with him getting a new Robin, and then him
Because
also,
it is a two-part.
Yeah,
it's a
this is
two-part
two-part.
movie, so there will be another one coming out soon.
and this is the first time they've done that.
Yeah.
In these movies that Warner Brothers.
Yeah,
Brothers
they usually
put
one
out.
and done.
Yep, exactly.
Wham bam, thank you, man.
So it's cool that they're
Yeah.
taking this because they knew they couldn't finish this whole book in one, so they had to do that. Just like Justice League Doom, they made that whole movie off one issue, so they're
Yeah.
trying to do a whole, a bunch of issues here. And so they fight the big bad. Batman and this new cool, awesome girl, Robin, end up fighting together, working together to take out the big bad. But then right at the end, we see that, a huge player, if you check out our villains episode, the number one top 10 villain shows up, and maybe he is back to play with Batman. We don't know yet.
Yeah.
But anyway, it turns out to be this just great dystopian future, alternate universe Batman story that you see Batman do a bunch of crazy things that you would never think of because he is so crotchety and mean and old man.
Oh, it is so great.
Ornery. But yeah, that's a basic plot line, Batman, not Batman, becomes Batman, fights the bad guys, the end.
This is what they said, 10, 20 years since the last actual sighting.
Mhm.
The last confirmed
Because
sighting
you
of
haven't
the
met
Batman.
The kids don't
So
even
the
know.
the kids don't even know if he actually exists or
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
Yep.
So it's Batman's been away for quite a while,
Yeah.
and he's way too old to be Batman,
Yeah.
but he still comes back and he kicks some ass. So
Yeah.
it's
Totally.
it's pretty cool.
Definitely. So let's first go over. Do you guys want to go with? I like to talk about the animation style. There's lots of different ways to
the
do.
first thing we see. So yeah.
Yep. There's a lot of different styles. There's a lot of different ways to do it. They change almost every time we watch one. It's a different kind of animation style. This is very different from the last Superman movie we saw, which was totally cartoony. So yeah, let's kind of discuss what you guys think of it.
I think they've always been experimenting with. I'm big on the visual feel. They're always experimenting with these different styles to appeal to the comic book reader,
Yeah.
because that's obviously who you're trying to get. You want to get kids to watch it, but Johnny 8-year-old is going to watch Batman because it's Batman, right? Who cares? It's Batman. It doesn't matter what it looks like. But you have to appeal to these people that have an aesthetic kind of feel to what they're used to in these books. And I think this really, really created the comic book feel really well. And it was really computer rendered kind of, but it still had like all of the art style, the people, and it was almost a little bit jumpy because they were sticking so closely to the artistic style. And along with that, just some of the shots out of the book.
Yeah, I mean they
were
take
just so cool.
They take a lot of shots out of the book. They take a lot of quotes out of the book for sure. And this is Frank Miller did this. I mean, you guys definitely know Frank Miller. I would assume very unique style, very unique way to draw Batman and these characters. So it's kind of interesting to see how they, transition this into animation. It's definitely way different, and it's a lot more animated, but you still get the giant chin Batman,
Yes.
and the Gordon with the mustaches sticking out or curved up, and it's still they take what he does. The last character I wanted to see a little bit better, but whatever, I can get over it. And it's just the characters. I thought the animation style was very well. After I got into it, I liked it. It followed all the way through. But when I first saw it, I was definitely nervous. I was like, "What?"
Every one of us said something about
Yeah, we
it
were
when
just
it first
like,
came up.
I'm
We were
not
a little.
feeling this at all.
Yeah. They were doing the cars, so you're talking very sharp digital cars that were
and
coming
fast moving, and it kind of all looked weird.
Yeah. So I mean, that's what I was very nervous at first, but by the end and after I got comfortable with it, it was just became a part of the movie, and I didn't even think about it. And that has to be what you want to do. So I definitely think the animation was still good. Do I think they could have rendered it a little better or more stylistic? It would have been cooler to see. I'm sure it would have been a lot harder to animate though. If they did try to do that. But it was still fun to see, some of the signature scenes of, Batman and how they come in and we can pull them right from the panels. So, that was kind of cool too.
Before John jumps in on animation, I just want to ask everybody's opinion on
Why I oughta.
Gordon doesn't smoke anymore. He's just chewing the gum. And that's always something that I think a lot of writers kind of like to throw that softball to an artist, where you can have some smoke, so there's something going on other than a couple of heads talking, and there's a smoke that you can kind of play with, so at least the artist gets that. But so it's always kind of a cool effect. But I mean, how do you guys feel about
The lack of
Gordon's
smoke?
wife forced him to quit smoking cigars?
Hey, life happens, man.
I thought it was funny because you could pull out like gum like normal Piaka gum, but he pulled out like gum that was brown like Nicorette.
Yep.
And right out of his pocket in the packing that Nicorette comes in. So I thought that was, I loved it because he's still chewing Nicorette gum right when like some person is just blabbing.
Yeah,
That's
it was
what I
it was
like.
the classic cop move. Like, oh, where'd
Where's
my
my
smokes
package?
go?
Say,
You know,
yeah.
who cares what this guy's saying? Because he's giving him the tough talk, and he's just whatever.
And he's
This
like,
stuff's got
oh.
a mind of its own.
He's like, gum? Yeah, John, what did you think of the animated style?
You know, all in all, like you guys said, you know, when we first jumped into it, I was just kind of like, oh, this is going to be the longest hour of my life. That was my reaction.
Oh my God, really?
Well, at first, though, you know what I
Nice.
mean?
I just like that you thought that.
But then, when it started growing on me, you guys. This kind of has a bit of an anime kick in the balls to it. There's a lot more blood and guts, you know, compared to the cartoony version that we watched, which is an 8-minute version from an episode of it. You know, kind of, they retold the tale, but in a condensed version.
Which brings us into our first segment. Hey guys, this is our segment. It's called cartoons that were from the 90s and then turned into awesome animated full-length DC movies. I want to see John make a fucking panel for that one.
What? Oh, no.
A picture of all three of us that has you're going to have to
movie?
put the
No?
title all the way around the picture.
All right.
I'm
Circulate.
just kidding.
Well,
But anyway, guys, we're talking about the new movie, and a long time ago in the 90s, the greatest animated TV show of all time, Batman the Animated Series, in Season 4 had a great tale of where kids were talking about the myth of Batman, and one of the myths was The Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, what do we see, guys? I mean, I don't know. It's awesome.
I saw differences in it. I guess I'll go into it a little bit. You know,
Yeah.
the blood and the guts. You know, like I was saying, it was just a lot more kick-ass, like the art of kick-assery. You know, we got to see it more in this new version that just came out because they kind of stepped it up a little bit. Like you know, like I like to say, they hiked up the skirt a little bit. We won't go further than that, but the version that aired on Fox Kids, I believe, was an 8-minute rendition of it. In addition to 2 other stories, it was 3 kids telling it all together. But just very, very interesting. It was all in all, it read really well together. I mean, it went down to those 2. My name is Rob. My name is Don. Gangsters were present, and both voice actors different.
Yeah.
Obviously, I prefer the ones in the big film, the longer film.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was just like a
Personally.
super condensed
Yeah.
version
But-
of the same movie.
But you know what?
basically.
I was pleased to see Bondage Tits was in both.
Yeah, exactly. Big old pointy nipples.
Big
all of
S
them.
and M.
Madonna Hard.
Needles.
Yeah.
Love it. Love that. But that bad guy has big nipples. But I thought it was just.
Big
It's
black
funny to see
metal
how.
nipples, probably.
It's funny to see the differences, the style and animation that they had back in the '90s compared to what they have now.
Yeah.
So much more simplistic.
Yeah.
You know, you can definitely tell that computers are involved now with the shadowing and coloring and different things like that.
And a lot
Also-
of times where they had to kind of take, like when they had the big mutant army,
Yep.
it was just silhouettes and then their goggles was all they could do. And now we have lines on every face.
Yep.
You can see that every mutant looks different.
Exactly. And yeah, that was a total difference, but it was almost like so, like you watch this whole thing, but how, I just think it's so cool, the broken down, the voice acting in this one is so cool that, I mean, I really think you guys should check it out. So if you have a chance, go on YouTube or something, but find this episode of the Batman the Animated Series, because it is exactly what this movie is in 8 minutes, condensed and mixed around. But it's so interesting to watch after you watch this. So it's a must. So please check it out.
But watch this movie first. I think
It's fun to do a
I think you'd be
comparison, it
served.
really
I
is.
think you'd be served to watch the movie, the full length movie that just came out first, and then watch this bit, because otherwise this bit will kind of spoil some of the things that happen.
I agree.
All right. So we're in a consensus.
Exactly. And so that is our segment. That is cartoons from the 90s that turned into full-length animated features. Thank you, guys.
Well, anyways, like I said, I mentioned in the segment, I kind of like the blood and guts. But you know what else I liked about it is this one, it had just kind of a darker vibe overall. And I did appreciate that. Again, the beginning, anyone that watches this is going to be like, okay, this is going to take a minute to get into. So, I don't know if this whole thing would be my style necessarily,
Mhm.
but you're talking to the guy that worships the ground that X-Men 90s walks on. Except for season 5, like towards the end, it got a little different because they switched art styles. But
True
anyways,
morph lover.
you know what I mean. I grew up on the Batman cartoon, the X-Men cartoon, etc. And this was a little more.
So this is a combination between the two because there's mutants and there's Batman. How aren't
Well,
you just
the mutants,
insanely excited?
The mutant name really turned me off. I gotta be frank.
I was gonna
Because
say,
excited.
as soon as
didn't like it.
as soon
Yeah.
as they said mutants,
Yeah.
though, I kind of could tell John was like, I hate this.
Yeah, well, I mean, because I was just like, oh no, and then when I saw the army of red visors, you guys know how I feel about red visors. So it was just kind of like a kick in the balls times 100. You know what I'm talking
Dude, that
about.
is so
Yes.
funny. I mean, I wouldn't even think
true.
about that, but that's so true for you.
But you know what's funny? As much as I dislike that part of it, I didn't not like the movie.
Oh yeah.
We'll get into that though. But yeah, all in all, the animation is a bit off for me. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
It grew on me a little bit, but it was still off.
Yeah, at least it grew on me at least that I didn't notice it. So it was,
Yeah.
It was. We talked about this a little bit, but it was hilarious how someone could finish up talking
Yes.
and then
Yeah.
that's
It's still
exactly
on.
they stay on them for just a little too long.
Yeah, it was weird. I don't know if
Kind
that
of
was
like
a
an
director's.
office moment or something.
Yeah, I don't know. Awkward silences. I don't know if it was a director's choice or what.
I think it was because there was a lot of like.
Consistent.
Gordon said something to Batman, asked him a question, basically questioning his abilities, and it just turns to Batman, who, from an under view, so his chin just looks extra big,
Yeah.
and Batman in this one is just this super masculine, like
Oh yeah,
triple wide shoulders,
Yeah.
just hulking mass.
he's like Ryback from the
And-
WWE. I don't know if you guys want to check that out. Feed me more. But anyway, exactly. Sorry to throw it off, guys. To bring up wrestling, I love wrestling. Sorry, guys, it's guilty pleasure.
Yeah. All right.
But he is. He's 3 times wider. I mean, he's just so massive. It's almost like he is wider than he is tall.
Yeah.
Because he's always like bending over, like, like. Because that's like the cover from that, classic book. So I
Yeah,
don't know.
but then this awkward silence kind of transfers from Batman just like kind of hulking over Gordon, who kind of looks up at him with his weird little upturn, like
Yeah, because
almost
that's
like cowboy Wild West style.
That's the
mustache.
Frank Miller Gordon.
Like
Yeah,
just
yeah.
kind of looks back at him with this kind of like inquisitive look, and then finally Batman kind of starts talking to him again. And it was just this series of these awkward silences, which were pretty funny, but it kind of started to take away from it a little bit.
I
because
hear you.
It was so consistent, and even after somebody stopped talking, it was just a freeze on them for way too long.
And yeah, I mean, what are you gonna do? That kind of brings us into our next point, though. What are some of the things because we've kind of been talking positive about this? What are some things that we didn't like about about this movie?
Well, let's stick to the animation.
Okay.
And that's you've got mine, so John.
What?
What didn't you like about the animation?
No, I mean, he already said he didn't like the animation,
Okay.
but what?
Well,
did
I didn't like
about-
how overtly desexualized they tried to make any main female character.
Mhm.
It was these extremely androgynous women.
Oh
Ooh.
man, careful, you're gonna piss somebody off.
They were, I mean, like Robin.
Yeah.
She, when you first saw it, it was like, is this like the weird, cool, like
The swoosh. Yeah.
the swoosh
swoosh.
hairdo, the weird old '80s hairdo? Is this a young boy who's walking around with his girlfriend who looked cute? She looked very
Sure.
feminine. And then there was Robin, who was just kind of a boxy figure,
Mhm.
There was no, and there was another, I forget,
The interview
Lang.
with Lana.
Yep.
Lang. Was
Yeah, Lana
fat.
Lang. Lana Lang is like
Tom just loved it. She was
I just
Yeah,
thought that
huge.
was so funny that she was, portrayed as like older and fat now. And I say
Chubby
fat. I
lady.
mean, she's like as fat as me.
she
and-
was a big chubby lady.
Tom was also comparing her to Zatanna. You wouldn't believe the stuff that was coming out of his mouth, you guys.
Give me a break.
Totally not show appropriate.
But yeah, I would even say, you say that about female characters, but you mostly could say lack of female characters.
Right.
That's
Because
I
true,
would
too.
totally
That
agree.
is
This was a
extremely
huge
true,
sausage fest.
Mhm.
Why I didn't like this movie, I don't know. But
That doesn't come for, what, another month or something? I don't know.
Even the mutants hardly had any ladies around.
Yeah,
like,
the one
when,
that did,
when
they-
Robin showed up
Yeah.
dressed as a
Yeah,
lady
everyone's
mutant,
like, holy
they're, oh,
shit.
whoa, chicken legs. Hey, chicken legs. Hey, Spud, what's going on?
And what was
I
up with
love
that
that,
term, Spud?
And
What?
that's just in the book. They just talk so outlandishly ridiculous, like
Yeah.
80s
Slang, like arcade
exactly.
slang.
It's like they're trying to make up a lot of their own slang as
Yeah.
they go, but nothing really catches on
No.
from region to region because there wasn't internet then.
I liked it though because I read it so often that it was just funny to see like these
Oh.
real people talking that way. You know, calling people
Can you
spuds.
imagine reading that script? I'm like, what the fuck am I talking about? here?
Spud likes it. Can't do it when Spud likes it.
Yeah.
What?
What?
Who approved this film?
Do you have a beer? Yeah.
But yeah, but yeah, I mean, some of the things I didn't like about it were, you know, this is a really like great. I mean, let me like just say real quick about Batman: The Dark Knight Returns. The book is one of the greatest books of all time in comic
It
books.
was a groundbreaking
Yeah,
turn the pages on it.
When they put out like all the writers that were writing Batman beforehand, you know, wrote Frank Miller and be like, "You're destroying my character," because you got to think, what was Batman like before 1984 when this came out? You know, nothing like this. It was not dark. He was not gritty, and that's what you have since this. That's the Batman you have. You have the dark, the gritty, the grimace. Look at the movies. Look at everything. This changed everything. This came out the same year as Watchmen, and that is when the modern age of comics started. Some people call it the Dark Age, because everything became so moody and dark and gritty, and that's what these. I want to say that it was a really good thing because comics were taken a lot more seriously after this. This is a work of art. This isn't just your normal, fare of comics.
Exactly.
And so to have this be on an animated movie, one of the things I'm not going to like is it doesn't hold up. I mean, this is so amazing that when I watch this is such a carbon copy cutout, kind of it. It's like I almost am like, you destroyed my original work that I love. But, you can't be that way. And so, I take it for what it is as an animated movie, and I did like it. I enjoyed it. I liked seeing the different things. But, definitely one of the things is it does not hold up to the original work. Like,
But, at least, thank goodness you're well-informed enough on the book that you're able to make that conclusion. Whereas some people be like, ugh, I hated it. The comic was way better, even though I only read, like, the first one page of it. So, I mean, at least you're able to, like, put this on the table, go George Clooney ER on it,
Exactly, get in there.
It out. Yeah, get in there.
This is what does he say? This is the operating table, and I'm the surgeon.
This isn't just a crash heap. This is an operating table.
And I'm the surgeon. That was a line from this movie, the book, and the
I want to still of all of our
and the
sour
segment
faces.
one that we talked
Yeah.
about. But yeah, another thing I didn't like about this was, just the fast pacedness of not really developing Batman
Totally.
as why he's really coming back
Totally.
and why Two-Face goes crazy. He just goes crazy. Two-Face is basically one of the villains, and he just kind of goes crazy. And they kind of just brush it off as a time filler. And I think they could have done a little bit more with that. But overall, I don't have a lot of complaints. I really do like what they did with it. And, besides what I've already said, I mean, those would be really the only things that I had an issue with. How about you guys?
I'm gonna have to tag on that.
Yeah.
This book, the actual series, was such a groundbreaking. It almost added an extra layer to the comic book universe, and kind of put graphic novels and comic books on the same shelf as books. Where the stories are so much more deep and involved, and a person can actually pick it up and just feel emotionally attached to this character in this, this series that's going on. And the movie doesn't really hold up to that.
Yeah.
It's not something that I am just eagerly awaiting the next one. Although I am pretty excited because of our supervillain who's about to show up. It's the Belgian Dip.
It's the Belgian Dip.
But for our supervillain that's about to show up,
Awesome alert.
I am excited for the next one, but it's not
Exactly.
something that
But
has
no
me-
matter what, we're not saying the
it's
name.
not- it's
You're
not
gonna have to watch the
changed.
top 10 villains if you
Yeah.
want to.
It's not changed anything
Yeah.
in comic book movies. We've seen some comic book movies that have used this kind of style before. Some of the things I really didn't like, a lot of kind of cliches that they used, but it helps so much to use, you just start out with a newscaster saying what's happening, it's such an easy outlet. I like to kind of jump right into some action, have, start out with some Batman.
Totally.
Right.
Instead of the
Why are we
newscaster
opening-
covering
Why are we
Batman,
opening with
open
NASCAR?
with Batman.
Yeah, the NASCAR I didn't get because it doesn't open.
It has nothing
He's
to
in
do.
a Formula One race car.
Nothing
Just
to do.
I mean, because he
running
is
down.
really
Right there,
quick.
too.
I mean, in this, they do a bunch of panels real quick about it. But the reason they do the newscaster, because, I mean, it jumps in. I mean, that is the reason. Is Frank Miller wrote newscaster. You start really quick. You're talking by the third one, you got the newscaster. And then by this page, only newscasters.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they had to show those the way that different things acted.
Yeah.
And it runs throughout. And but I did like that, like the style of clothes that they have to be futuristic, like the box neckline and like the wide shoulders
wings,
and
yeah.
the crazy hair. I thought that was pretty cool.
It was such an 80s rendition of what the future will be like.
Exactly.
This is the year 2000.
So grim.
And we still haven't gotten our orange wing shoulder shirts. What the fuck,
I need
American
to get one of
government?
those, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd rock that shit.
Yeah,
It'd
rock
match
that
your
shit.
beer.
Probably. I like to match what I drink.
Yeah,
I wonder which presidential
You do have
candidate
that
is going to
bomb.
employ futuristic silver suits with shoulder wings.
Well,
I'll
you
vote
know,
for that one.
we were talking about it before, but Ronald Reagan is in this one. So are they going to keep Ronald Reagan in part 2? Or are they going to try to put Barack Obama in there? Or what?
Yeah, who knows?
I don't know. But yeah, John.
Maybe by that time it'll be a Romney.
It's
It's a toss-up. Who knows?
Let's put Ron Paul in there.
I think, or that. I think I'm going to go in with like Two-Face with a coin, just scratch one side.
He scratches 2 sides in this.
That's
'Cause
right.
he's gone.
But yeah, John, so are there any specific things that you didn't like about it besides the animation?
When the hell did he get a battle tank?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
They call it the Batmobile.
Yeah. Hold
Really?
on.
This is the Batmobile?
So,
now?
let me get this straight. This is Batman in the future, and we had the Night of Owls, and you had a fucking tank? What's the problem, Bat?
Super tank.
Yeah, you
Super-
take out the
I mean,
talent.
the thing had
it's not that hard.
the thing's neck went down and looked at someone. I mean, if you can resist how many grenades and rounds of real bullets versus shooting out rubber ones,
And just rocket launchers. And you can't take out a Talon
yeah.
team?
What
Come
the
on.
hell is your problem?
No.
What a Sally.
And it was
And
funny.
he-
He
where's
was
the
like,
tank?
it purrs like a kitten.
Yeah.
She still purrs.
So where did that come from? You know, I don't know, dude. I mean, I'd like to see more of the tank. In
Yeah.
books, not,
In books.
you know.
You know, if he has the tank, give him the fucking tank.
Yeah,
Because,
let's
we
do
should
this.
be able to see it.
You're talking about the tank. Okay, he goes. Batman's going through just these huge explosions,
Yeah.
blowing people away,
Yeah.
shooting machine guns, at
Yeah.
these people. A couple of people jump onto the top of the tank
With an axe.
with an axe and actually pierce the armor with an axe
But no.
of the bat tank. But these thousands of bullets
And-
and RPGs
And
Yeah.
then, like, literally 9 grenades at
simultaneous. Boom. Doesn't touch it.
But that
he
one
electrocutes all the people off the top. The guy who axed into
The armor.
the hole.
the armor
He broke into the hole.
blasts all these other people away, and the boss picks up rubber bullets. Everyone's fine
Yeah.
because those explosions.
Yeah,
didn't
because
kill
there's just
anyone.
like bombs and explosions and stuff, and then after you think
Yeah.
Batman just killed like 800 people, one of the guys is like boink, 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 rubber bullets.
Rubber bullets. So those guys weren't electrocuted. That was just a
Here's my other
rubber
question though for you.
electrocution.
People are going everywhere as a result of getting hit by the rubber bullets. A painful game of paintball, if you will. The bodies did not fly out of the way of the tank.
Exactly.
Logically.
He's just
Yeah.
he's just cruising right over 'em.
So technically, he did kill
He's-
800 people because
He had,
pouring through 'em,
and
yeah.
I mean, it was supposed to be emotional. He does have to make a choice to kill. He's about to die, and the big bad guy's about to kill the new Robin.
Yep.
And he has to make the
Yeah.
choice and fucking.
He doesn't actually kill him though, because
But,
he was
comes
still
back.
yeah, he was still like
I don't know how he did.
we thought he had suffocated on the face goo. He
Yeah.
blasted him with some face goo, and then he
ended up in jail.
suffocates, and then all of a sudden he's in jail.
Oh, and there's another dumbass moment for you. No. I have to resolve this. I'll meet with him.
The mayor?
The mayor goes into a one-on-one cell with
in solitary
teats.
confinement.
Yeah, and they close the door.
With
and
the guard.
Did you just refer to him as Teats? Yes.
Tatas.
Thank you.
Teats.
Yes.
Okay,
The
so
guard-
back at it. He
the
goes
guard
in with
turns
Teats.
his back.
But you know what I mean? Like, they're like, oh yeah, this will be a breeze. The mayor will solve all this. Chainsaw Massacre, man. You know what I mean? Like,
Totally.
The guard turns his back.
I mean, literally, I go, oh, this is going to be good.
this is so stupid.
The mayor could, have him out on a picnic table. He could be in public anywhere. He chooses to go into the solitary confinement, which has no lights. They shut the door, and then he dies. Imagine that.
Yeah.
And then the next
Send a
cut...
few guards in with him
And
or something.
then, yeah, the vice mayor, now mayor, is like, we're still willing to surrender.
Yeah,
What?
they straight cut to the news where they're like, the mayor is dead.
The mayor's
But I did
dead.
actually think that was funny because they were, like,
Yeah.
the new commissioner coming up was in the
Oh, yeah.
same spot.
Yeah.
But then it was the vice mayor in front, and so there's only two of them instead of three. I
Yeah,
thought that was kind of funny.
it was.
That's a plus
that-
point.
that's-
right there.
that's-
I like
that
that.
is
Okay,
The
so
mayor-
let's
the
bring it
mayor
into,
was a
let's go
plus
into
point,
all
too.
the good things. What did we really, really like about it?
The mayor.
Yeah, the
Just
mayor's
brushing
hilarious.
everything aside all the way
Yeah.
through. There's like
The
3
mayor.
times he makes an appearance. Just like, oh no, it's no big deal. We're pursuing negotiations.
Yeah, so funny.
Right, yeah.
Definitely the mayor. I think definitely the Batman chin. That was like one of my favorites because it's just so massive and just so great.
You have to be like
shit.
400 pounds of solid muscle and just 4 foot wide shoulders
Yeah.
and have a chin
Kind of like
the
a
size of fucking
life
Kentucky.
swagger.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to be a real man in comics.
I agree. I agree. Also, I really liked Gordon's mustache. We've talked about it before, but Frank Miller does this awesome Gordon where he's really pissed and he kind of just has a little swoosh. Well, in this animated, they really took it to the max and really swooshed it up, and I just thought that was freaking sweet.
It was almost an L turn actually
Yeah.
upwards. It was kind of cool.
And then I also just really liked, that we get to see a animated movie that takes place in a future, that's dystopian future, crazy DC world.
Which piggybacks right off of last week, The Judge.
Yeah.
Go back and watch that review if you haven't yet. But
Familiar.
dystopian future movies. Tom and
So
I are
we're on it
Yeah.
right now. We're on board, okay?
I'm sure John's going to be getting
Well,
into it.
here's
too.
here's a question for you guys. I was actually going to ask you this earlier. I didn't want to go off topic though. Dystopian futures. Is there a future in the comic book industry that's been portrayed as happy-go-lucky?
Let's try.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. They're all bad.
Yeah.
Just think Days of Future Past,
Yeah.
X-Men, terrible.
Everyone's dead.
Apocalypse is
Yeah.
control the world.
Yeah.
You're talking to DC, the world is ended.
Zombie
Yeah, I mean,
apocalypses,
everything
you
is
got
not
your
good.
vampires.
Why is that?
Especially when you come to X-Men Mutants.
Yeah.
The world is always terrible.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because everyone's terrified of what's to come in the future.
Yeah, I mean,
That's-
whatever-
It's something that we're all worried about,
Exactly.
I
Aging,
suppose.
aging is the #1 killer in America. So
You did not just fucking say that.
it's true.
I don't endorse this.
Dude, that is hilarious. It's an obvious fact, but it's just I've never heard it put out like that yet.
You never thought about it that way. It's one of the worst things that can possibly happen to you.
You
is
getting older.
getting older.
Oh god. Off topic, but anyway, let's go ratings.
Oh no, is this the beer rating?
Yeah, of course. We only rate on beer.
Yeah, I'll say tonight we sure did. Jesus.
Okay, well I'll go first then. I'm gonna give this a 4 out of 6. I thought it could be better, but still very pleased with it. So yeah, definitely 4 out of 6 beers.
You want me to go next? Guys, I'm a little more rigid with this one. I'm going to give it 3 beers, which is probably one of my lowest ratings ever given. Usually I'm more of the
Yeah, usually you're like, oh, I didn't really like it. It's 5 out of 6.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, John, it's either a 2 or it's a 6.
Yeah.
Or a keg. I think
Yeah.
he's already given like a case away.
I was thinking of some new ones. And a military drop-off.
We're gonna give this one a brewery.
Well, anyway,
But
so
three.
three out of
6.
6 beers. How about
Yeah.
this guy?
You know, I'm gonna have to jump right along with John here, and give it a 5.
Oh, Jesus.
Nice, dude. Nice.
I really had a good time with it. Once you get into the animation
Yes.
style, it's really cool actually. Some of the things that come about, you know, the cop car pulls up on a building, I don't remember what it was, and you see like the headlights shift, and then there's just like this cone of light, and it looks really cool. It's really a comic book, you know, drawn style. So I like the feel of it. You know, it might be a little bit jumpy, but once you get into it, once you get used to it, that's nothing to deal with. The story was, it was just great. It was
awesome.
They kind of brushed Two-Face along just a little bit, Harvey Dent, but I thought the way they portrayed him was really cool. You know, he's been fixed. His face is perfect,
Please don't twist.
but he still sees himself as the monster. So that's why he's scratching both sides of the coin, because he sees, now that he's back to normal, he sees that he is just
full
pure evil.
Yeah, exactly.
Because both sides match.
Yep.
So he feels like the dark side was his real being.
Exactly.
So, and I thought that was really cool. Robin being a girl and just kind of like tagging along, just catching up to Batman and kind of saving his ass
Agreed.
in the end. Really cool. But
in
5 out of 6.
in our segment, we talked about, you know, the animated movie or animated series one. She did the slingshot way more times. Wish I would have saw that in the movie.
Yeah, we didn't.
Love
I don't think
the
we saw a
we did.
slingshot.
Love the slingshot. Love it.
No, yeah, but I hated how she
Getting all academic
in
and
the
everything.
in the short animated movie. While we're on it, I hated how she opens up the side. Like Batman's just destroying
And
everyone.
he's just getting like
She just
bombs
opens
poured
it
on him.
up,
And she
and
kicks more ass than the
then-
tank
Oh,
does.
but
Shit-
and as up
shit gets
it,
blown.
he's talking about the battle
the
train.
bat. It's the Batmobile.
Oh, I just call it things battle trams from Aquabats now. But
What?
Battle
Batmobile.
the Batmobile. She opens it up and bombs get shot in. You know what? How did Batman not die after it was open
Yeah,
and
it
there was
went
this
right
huge
in.
explosion?
Yeah, there was a bomb that went straight in.
Yeah. And she jumps out and is shooting these marbles at people.
I still
Take
love
it
it,
as
dude.
you
I
will.
love that, dude. But I do love Girl Robin. I think she's sweet.
I think
and,
Robin's always been kind of a girl.
and I can't wait. Like, this is so Batman.
John only speaks. the
Nice
truth.
work, dude.
Dick
Nice
Grayson.
work, dude.
Come on, I was Robin for Halloween. I should know. You know?
Yeah, exactly. But I think it's really interesting that we got this far, and really we've only got Gordon, Batman, and Robin right now, and Alfred.
Yeah.
You know, so that's what we have right now. Where when we get into the next, we're going to be seeing a lot more people that you know.
Who are we going to see?
No, we can't tell.
Yeah.
That maybe that person we were talking about at the
So
end
we
of the
can't
movie.
spoil it at all.
Or let's just give a little. We'll just
Oh,
give
sneak
one
peek.
shot here that gives something away.
There's something exciting too.
Well,
with
What is that? Who is that? I don't know. I recognize that outfit, but he looks like he might be a little fucked up. Yeah, that's your man, Superman.
Clark
He's
Kent.
gonna make it.
he's gonna show up in part 2.
And so it's gonna be interesting to see this
Superman?
government-laden Superman.
Superman's
facing.
in that one.
So yeah.
What? I'm calling in sick for that episode. Oh, because Superman's stupid. I'm just playing.
Yeah. Well, you're watching it. Get real.
All right, guys.
But anyway.
If we drug on too long, let us know at acomicbooklook@gmail.com, YouTube, Facebook groups, Twitter, John on Demand, at John on Demand, at Skylar Bulks, at Tom Stu Divine.
But just, I don't even check
Wait.
at Tom Studevine anymore. Just
Yeah.
go to @ comic book look for Twitter.
But you know what? One thing I did want to address, you guys, we got called out on like issue 24 or something. Like someone, did you see that comment? You guys are like ragging on Batman for being like different and cynical, and you know you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Like,
I commented
but-
back to that chump.
But my borderline is this, Tom. Maybe we shouldn't be doing this on air, but we're going to, because we asked for your feedback and we got it, and it's not a compliment.
I
And-
love not compliments though.
Yeah, I love compliments, but I mean this individual is very blunt with us.
That's fine.
And what did you say?
I just said back, you know, hey, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
He thought that because Ugh. Okay, nerd rant coming real quick here.
Ooh.
Sorry. I hate to do this at the end. I hate to do this at the end of the fucking show after these beers, but okay, this guy, he said that, yeah, I can't believe you say that about Batman. When we were talking about the fucking Justice League episode,
That's what it was.
where
he takes his
took
mask
the cowl off.
Yeah,
They're on top of the roof
Yeah.
in the middle of a mission. Batman takes his cowl off and looks up at Green Lantern or whoever the fuck he's talking to and goes,
Bruce Wayne.
I am Bruce Wayne. My parents died. Martha and Wayne Kent. And they, my parents, blah, 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 Wayne. And that is why I need to have revenge for the rest of my life
Yeah.
as Batman.
Yeah. What?
It makes no sense at all.
No.
I hated it.
Agreed.
This guy liked it. Dude, get real. Read real comics. I mean, there's 100 other things out there that are going to, like, expand your mind instead of this dumb shit that's talked down to you in, like, some way that nobody wants to read. I mean, you read those comics, it's talked down to you. We are comic book fans. We know all this shit. We don't need to be going through this. This is for your fucking 10-year-old kid who is going to be like, oh, I really like that. Oh, Batman would definitely say this. It's not for us. It's not for me who has box loads of comics, has read a comic book every single day for the last 10 years. I mean, it's so dumb and demeaning. I hate it.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you like it. But
we can, just to be the political
opinions
one here.
a bit different.
Yeah.
And my devil's advocate
Yeah.
of John will always come in.
Yeah, I mean, your opinion is your opinion. We appreciate it for, having the stones to stick up to us and be like, hey, I don't approve of what you said or whatever. Well, it was a little bit maybe condescending or whatever.
I love it, though.
But
First of all,
he was open. He was open.
Exactly.
Right? He or she. I don't even know.
It's not the first time.
Yeah.
I've been made fun of for having a ponytail. I've been
We've been called alcoholics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was called morbidly obese. I mean,
Me too.
there's like, I mean, people are going to talk shit to us. We put ourselves out on the internet for that reason, and I don't mind at all. I put it up at CBR the other day. Somebody said that, one look at these guys, and I know for a fact I'm not watching this. And so,
I don't want to hear a word they have to say.
it happens. But,
That's a bummer.
oh,
Show
fuck
us
that.
love.
We
Dude,
put off that
Dude,
vibe.
exactly, and that's 100 times over. I say that to a million different shows that I look on YouTube too. So,
Yeah.
but anyway, we like you. Thank you for watching, and thank you for sticking with my nerd rant.
Right.
Be an internet tough guy.
Yeah.
And let us know how you feel.
Right, exactly. But you know what? As long as you're an informed internet tough guy, you got our attention. Because if you're just a troll, we're probably not even going to look at you.
Exactly.
So-
Or I'm gonna just humiliate you. So yeah, trolls beware. Come on out. Can't wait to see you.
Yeah.
Can't wait to
Don't
talk
feed
to
the
you.
trolls time.
Seriously, don't feed the trolls. That's the most annoying thing ever, dude.
Oh, I
Every
love
show
you.
has them, though. It's so funny. There's
Yeah.
always like one or two. It's
Exactly.
hilarious.
Like, get real.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. And speaking of, we come on Tuesday, every Tuesday in Veteran Media Junkies. Nobody handles a troll better than Jose Melendez. The guy who runs the site. There's been a few trolls that come on the
boss
site.
man.
He humiliates them and then blocks them forever, and it is literally the funniest thing ever. And so I really, if you are a troll, please go to that site because I just love to see you getting taken care of by Jose. But anyway, check John's. Before we end here, I want to say John is doing awesome reviews, are awesome interviews with creators that are in the comic world. They're hitting it hard. They're getting their name out there. And they're giving him amazing shows. And so this is called After Hours, and you guys have to watch this. It's right on our YouTube channel, so you can just check it out, scroll through. He has 3 rounds out already. Obviously we got 50 more to go after that. And it is dynamic. Also, I'm writing reviews on Inveterate Media Junkies. That comes out on Sunday. So check out Capsule Reviews. I'm always going to hit a few up. And this week I'm doing... You'll probably already be able to check it out by the time this is up. But I'm doing Happy from Grant Morrison. And
I totally picked that up.
No, you
Yes,
didn't!
I did, dude. I totally
I'm going to
did.
punch you for doing that.
Why?
It's so awesome.
Yeah. What?
I'm going to punch you. A love punch.
Oh, shit.
And
wow.
also, so check those out. Happy in the Goon. But anyway, we'll see you guys later.
Let
and
Tom refill your prescription on a weekly basis with your comic reviews.
and as John always says,
Keep it comic.